Happy Wednesday, and welcome here to another edition of Husker Online Headlines. Sean Callahan, Steve Sipple. I got my days crossed for a second there. It's only Wednesday, but we play Friday, so we're a day earlier on everything this week. And we thank all of you for joining us here on Husker Online as we'll go through the big headlines. We get ready to head out to Minneapolis on Thursday for Friday night's game. But before we get to that, we're brought to you not only by our presenting sponsor, Sartor Hamann Jewelry, but we're also brought to you by our title sponsor, StayHome.Care. They offer many of the same personalized services and care. You might get it from a nursing home right in the comfort of your home. Whether your loved one is young or old, living with a disability, recovering from surgery, or just simply needs extra help when they're sick, StayHome.Care provides consistent, compassionate support from personal care and companionship to daily tasks like laundry, meal prep, and assistance with appointments or outings. We're here when your loved ones need you and you can't be there. Give them a call at 402-205-2233. That's stayhome.care, not .com. It's .care. Okay. Our heart is with you because we put our heart in everything we do. Your home, our care. Stayhome.care. Okay, well, let's get into it. Headline number one out of the gates as we get ready to head out to Minneapolis. After a week of distraction, Huskers take the field on a short week. Also unique in the sense it's back-to-back road games. But then you had this Penn State distraction that happened that really dominated the discussion. And we just both gave presentations in Fremont and Beatrice, our weekly Husker lunches. And I would say a majority of the questions and interest from the fan base in Fremont was about the Penn State job.
Yeah, and there's more people. I hope people understand. So we do these every week.
We've done them for 10, 15 years.
Yeah, and we love these people. There was more people than usual in Beatrice today. And there's concern, and there should be. And this is sometimes I take you on for when I don't even really mean it, but this is to portray it as anything other than a distraction would be disingenuous. Now, coaches will do that. They'll say, this isn't a distraction. And I would counter by saying, how the hell could it not be a distraction? I mean, everybody's talking about it. You think the players don't talk about it when they go home or even in the venue over there around the stadium? It doesn't have to be detrimental, but I mean, and let's face it, there's other sorts of distractions that you have to deal with too. So I would just say this is another one.
And I don't think you can just definitively say, oh, he's staying. Nobody knows that. Nobody.
But you also can't say definitively he's going.
Go, no. But what you can say is on the betting odds boards, he's the leading candidate to get the job.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it's very prominent. The discussion is very prominent. And you happen to be in a season where you're 5-1 with a great chance to be 6-1 and a great chance to be 7-1. So, yeah, it just cropped up. You can't blame anybody. You know, it cropped up on Sunday when James Franklin was fired and your phone started lighting up, and mine did too. And it was, oh God, here we go. You know, and come on, man. I mean, you think those kids' phones didn't light up too? You know.
And it's just one of those things. There's no answers.
No.
And that's what you have to come to realize. Like, rarely, if ever, does a coaching change just, they make the move now. Like, we're going to be going 6, 7, 8 weeks of this potentially.
This is where the conversation gets tricky, in my opinion. There's also the possibility that this whole thing's a charade, and they know who they're going to hire. I tend to think that. I don't think. Okay, there's millions and millions that go into this. This isn't the quick shop. Losing a manager and okay, we'll hire somebody else. We just need to put an ad out and get some people to interview. It's not. I don't think it's. We fired James Franklin. We got to pay him $40 million. So we better figure out what we're going to do
50.
now. Yeah, $50 million. Oh, now we better figure out what we're going to do. I would think they'd have a pretty good handle on what they're going to do if it's not already done. Well, from covering these, a lot of this is a charade. Like Pat Kraft is going to begin a national search later in the week. What do you mean? Like he just started to think about it now? I mean, hopefully he's pretty far down the line. Right?
Remember when like Trev Alberts was going through this when they fired Frost so early, and like Urban Meyer came to town for big noon kickoff, and people were like, "Oh, they're going to interview Urban while he's in town."
See, it's not realistic. Now there are cases though where, like Steve Peterson, you wonder when he fired Frank and then got turned down by Houston Nutt. My guess is he thought they were going to get Houston Nutt, and then when it didn't happen, everything blew up.
Oh, they thought they were going to get Mike Zimmer,
and then it blew up.
And obviously, what's his name, Mike Sherman, was the prime target. Mitch Sherman and Max Olson did that big story in The Athletic where that was where the search started with.
And then that didn't work.
They thought
out.
Mike Sherman was going to leave the Packers to come to Nebraska.
Well, anyway, so all by way of saying you don't exactly know where this thing is with Penn State.
And it will quiet down now, I think, for a few weeks, but it's going to be out there in your mind.
Right. Now, I think you're right, but you know how it is in our business now. There's a lot of rogue reporting, right? Something could crop up, The thing, though, is like if it's Rule and Pat Kraft, they talk regularly. So what do you say? They can just say, like, if they're telling you, we've talked regularly for years. No, but I'm saying there could be all range of rogue reporting that there's a deal done. And
remember like that rogue reporting here when there was the special regents meeting?
That's an example. Yeah, that was rogue. I mean, I can go back to when they were in their 40-day search that ultimately landed Nebraska. Was in its 41-day search that ultimately landed Bill Callahan. There was a radio report in Florida that Steve Spurrier took the job, the Nebraska job. That's what I mean. Like that stuff can crop up. And I had to rush to the office and debunk that Steve Spurrier was Nebraska's coach.
Remember the rogue report that Frank took the Army job?
Yeah.
I mean, that was that same. So when Frank got fired, like a month late, Army had a press. They were like that close to announcing Frank.
The reason I'm hesitant is that that was reality to that discussion.
No, I know, but it wasn't true.
Right.
It got reported.
Right. Oh yeah. Yeah. So that's what I mean. That's why when you say it's probably going to be quiet for a while, I don't know. I don't know. There's so much stuff that comes out during these things that you just take it day by day.
But yeah, then we got this game. I mean, we have a game on Friday night.
Game. Yeah.
And it's on Fox. So what do you think the Fox guys are going to talk about?
Okay, now.
I mean, they'll talk about but
you're smart. How much will that enter into the conversation?
Well,
will just be a mention.
It's Tim Brando again, which I know he did the Michigan State game, and it didn't get the best reviews. I mean, I didn't watch the full TV broadcast, so I saw
the 60-minute version on Big Ten. It was a little rough.
His signature call was "Isaiah all days long,"
something like that. But anyway, on the broadcast, I'll be interested to see how much they mention. It might just be a mention, right? I don't know how they'll do that.
Yeah, it's if Nebraska continues to win, then the story gets bigger, I think, because that's the other thing for Pat Kraft as he makes this move there. You're letting go of a guy that won a lot, so you can't just replace him with somebody that hasn't put together a good year.
Right. In his last 42, I think he was 34-8, James Franklin, 34-8. I don't want to litigate that whole thing. I understand why they made the move. I think it was getting, come on, babe. I mean, it was toxic. It was getting toxic. And I don't think Pat Kraft fired James Franklin because he lost to UCLA and Northwestern and Oregon.
Well, I think it was also about what next year was going to be. Penn State is going to lose a ton next year, a ton. Running backs or quarterback. And, now they're going to even lose more with the portal. And so it will be for their standard next year on paper appears like it will be a tough year.
So the headline, after a week of distraction, I mean, we're just talking about Penn State now.
You haven't even really got it. I tried to get you into the Minnesota game and it circled back, but all right, let's land a helicopter here on that.
Yeah,
and get on to headline 2. But before we do that, again, we're brought to you by our title sponsor, StayHome.Care. Call them at 402-205-2233. Learn what they can do for you, your family, your loved ones. We're also brought to you by the presenting sponsor, Sartor Hamann Jewelers. It's your go-to for Husker jewelry needs. It's the home of the one-of-a-kind handcrafted Husker jewelry featuring our famous 14-karat gold corncob earrings and pendants made right in shop here by our master jeweler with real gold and emeralds for the leaves. These are in limited supply. Also, our state pendants featuring the outline of the great state of Nebraska with the ruby in the place where Lincoln is on the map. Be the talk of your tailgate party with your unique one-of-a-kind Husker jewelry. We sell out of these fast every season. So make sure you get your order in now, and also mention Husker Online in the store or put Husker Online in on the website, and you'll get 10% off your order. Now that's promo code Husker Online. Sartor Hamann Jewelers, a Nebraska tradition as famous as the Cornhuskers. 120 years of excellence, 4 generations of family. Don't mess around with the rest. Come see the best. Sartor Hamann Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. Online at SartorHamann.com. When only the best will do. Sartor Hamann Jewelers. All right, well, let's get into headline number 2. Emmett Johnson makes his Minneapolis homecoming, and
wow,
you know he was Minnesota, one of the top players in Minnesota as a senior in high school. Had a huge year. Before that, didn't really get a lot of notoriety as a recruit. You know, he was looking like maybe the MAC or Northern Iowa. That's where that was kind of his options at that point. And Nebraska was in a bind. If you remember that recruiting class, they just didn't have a lot of numbers, and they were missing on some guys, and they needed a running back.
So this was the
2022 recruiting class.
Okay.
And so they didn't have a great class in 2021. The COVID era, they weren't on the road, they weren't bringing visitors in, and so they didn't have a lot of things going. And they got a late tip on Emmett Johnson. In fact, Jared Lamprick, former chief of staff, had a connection to him, and that's how he got on their radar. And
did Ron Brown go get him?
Well, Ron Brown couldn't recruit on the road.
But remember there was circumstance. I did a big story that he had to go recruit for some reason.
Yeah, because of Ryan Held.
Yeah.
Because Ryan Held had left.
Ron Brown had to go recruit. We did a big story on it.
Back in the Journal Star days.
Yeah.
And so they had to go out and find a guy late. And you do this sometimes in recruiting. You don't even know for sure what you're getting, but you think, okay, we'll take a chance on this guy. And that's what they did. And, 2 years ago, Nebraska played out at Minnesota. Emmett didn't even really play in that game, if I remember right.
No, this is a story of development. It's a story. It's a multifaceted story. But one part of the story is he has developed into quite a running back. And I think me and you maybe didn't see it coming. I gotta kind of self-correct here. I didn't envision him becoming a 1,300-yard back, which he's on track to do.
Leading the Big Ten in carries with a 105.
And I think he's second overall with 650 yards.
After this game, he will have more carries through 7 games than he had all of last year through 13 games.
He comes off a game against Maryland where he carried 21 times for 176 yards. And I think you would agree that he has never looked better than he did Saturday night at Maryland, right?
Well, he made 11 tacklers miss, 10. According to PFF. Dana Holger says 10.
I'm sorry, Dana said 10.
Dana said 10. PFF said 11. Michael Severe, the know-it-all expert friend of ours of the show.
So he on that 50-yard
Sorry,
run,
Michael, I'm taking a shot at you after a little conversation the other night.
50-yard run, is that what you're talking about?
He had a 50-yard run, but overall in the game, he made 11 people miss, according to PFF. And Dana had him at 10, but that's a big number.
It is. He ran exceptionally well. He's an interesting back to me because he's not very big, 5'11", 200, 5'10", 200, whatever he is. And he doesn't have big time speed. He's got very functional running back speed. And, we sit in the press box together, and what I always say, he's just tougher now. He's just tough. I mean, he gets everything out of every run.
Well, a lot of what he did was not the offensive line
against Maryland.
In fact, if you look at the overall run blocking grade for Nebraska, it was solid. But by no means was it like huge holes. I mean, he was making guys miss. He had 7 runs in that game alone of 10 plus yards.
See, to invoke the famous Bob Diaco, the strain with him is real. Like, he strains for yards. I really appreciate what he's doing. And come on, Sean, he's gigantic right now for Nebraska. And in this game against a defense that just allowed 230 rushing yards to Purdue, you could see it's pretty easy to envision, I think, another 150 plus yard game from him.
Well, and you envision that because look what Devin Mockabee did and look what Purdue did last week.
That's what I said.
They had great success running the ball.
230 yards.
And Minnesota did not. Now, the Gophers, on the other hand, have had injuries at running back. And I don't know if they're going to get healthier for Nebraska on a short week or not. But Minnesota, it should be noted that they're not running it well, mainly because of the injury situations they've gone through, which has completely made them play a different style than we're used to seeing a PJ Fleck team play.
Darius Taylor is who you're talking about. He was their guy coming in. He's a 6 foot, 215-pound junior.
He had 30 carries in the opener.
He wears number 1. He ran for 986 yards last year, 10 TDs. They thought he was going to be their guy. He's been hurt. He's been back the last 2 games, but in those 2 games, he's run 22 times for 42 yards. So they're not running it like they are used to. They have another guy. You've maybe heard of him, Fame Ijaboy. You haven't.
I have, but I just enjoyed hearing you break down that name.
Number 7. He's the other main guy. He's a freshman. He's averaging 4.7 yards a carry. Now, Sean, I'm not convinced. Well, you heard what John Butler said. He said they'd be foolish not to try to run. Now, we thought, remember, Maryland ranked 18th in the Big Ten in rushing. Okay, 18th in the Big Ten and got 130 on Nebraska and 30 carries. It wouldn't totally surprise me if Minnesota had some success running it. They'll try. They will try.
So Darius Taylor last week, 14 carries for 32 yards.
Yeah,
against Purdue.
I don't think he's back. I don't think he's back.
No runs of 10 plus yards. He had 6 catches though for 67 yards. So they did throw to him.
Oh yeah, they'll throw to him
like checkdowns.
12 catches this year. When I say he's not back, I mean he's not back to. I don't think he's full go.
No, I mean think about the opener. He had 31 carries.
Yeah. So we'll see what that looks like. But back to Emmett. Emmett will carry a heavy load in this game. It could be a magical night for him in front of all his family and stuff.
It'll be a big story on the broadcast. Huge.
Yeah. Now Dana did say it'll be tougher sledding running against Minnesota, even though Purdue got what it got. Now, Sean, how much does it affect your conversation there that Purdue has a quarterback that runs? Their quarterback ran for 61 yards. Nebraska doesn't have that. So maybe it might look a little different,
Yeah, this minute, and we're going to talk more about Minnesota going at Nebraska in headline 3s, but should be a big day, a big game, an opportunity. And Emmett Johnson, is going to want this one. You hope that he could have it.
Everyone
more than others. He wasn't recruited by the Gophers.
Oh God, it's a pretty bad miss.
Yeah,
I shouldn't say that because everybody missed on him, right?
Yeah, he was going to go to Northern Iowa.
Yeah.
All right, before we take it to headline 3, again, we're brought to you by StayHome.Care, our title sponsor. Call them at 402-205-2233. We're also brought to you by BUBS Naturals. Great product. It's clean, it's simple, it's effective. It helps with your joint health, your hair, your skin, recovery. It gives you quick energy and focus, and it will keep you going all day. It's third-party tested, no junk, no fillers. And 10% of their profits go to veteran causes through the Glenn Doherty Memorial Foundation. And, the great thing about it is you can mix this into anything, coffee, water, smoothies. It's unflavored, so it won't, affect what you're drinking, but it will help you at the same time. Give it a try at bubsnaturals.com. Use the promo code Husker, and you'll get 20% off your order of BUBS Natural. Again, that's promo code Husker at bubsnaturals.com. Thanks to BUBS Naturals for sponsoring us here on Husker Online Headlines. All right, let's go to 3. How will Minnesota go at Nebraska's defense? And I want to go back. We've talked about the running back.
Oh,
but,
yeah, we kind of did, yeah.
Their quarterback, though, Drake Lindsey.
Yes.
On the year, he's completed 6 passes of 20-plus yards down the field. So they get about 1 a game that he's going to go deep. They've thrown a lot more intermediate passes. What jumps out to me about Lindsey is he actually has only thrown 3 interceptions. So he's not been big on turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
He only has 4 turnover-worthy plays in 199 passing dropbacks.
I think he plays it pretty safe.
Yeah, they play kind of like an Iowa style where they're not going to take chances.
Yeah, I've watched him. He's only a redshirt freshman. He's big. I mean, he's a big kid, 6'5". I'd say similar size to Malik Washington. I think he's about 6'5", 230. The thing that people are going to wonder right away, what's he like as a runner? He has not carried the ball over 4 times in any of the games.
No, and to give you some more clarity on the rushing stats, here, let me pull those up here on him. He, like you said,
he doesn't run.
He's not a runner.
Look at him.
His runner.
That's PJ.
So he's got 6 rushing attempts for 7 yards. 3 of them are scrambles for 7 yards total. And then he's had, I think, 4 design runs.
Right.
That have really gone for nothing.
Nothing. He doesn't run. That's the bottom line. I've watched him. I watched him in the 3rd quarter against Rutgers. That was the game. Remember, we were on a bye. And so we got to flip around, and I just watched the 3rd quarter, and I was struck by how often Minnesota was throwing. But now that Nebraska's playing them, and you study what's going on, okay, I get it. They're not running the ball well. Nebraska's playing a team that is, Sean, think about this. You've been covering football a long time. Minnesota is 114th nationally in rushing offense. That's a program kind of like Wisconsin. It's a big. Typically, it's what? Big offensive linemen, tough running back.
Lean on you, play sound special teams, say sound defense.
Yeah, but that's not what they're doing now. I don't know. Maybe they've had some trouble up front too.
Well, and Drake Lindsey, when you look at his kind of recruiting resume, he was lightly recruited. I mean, his only other offers were UNLV, Colorado State, UAB. And he's a redshirt freshman. So, that alone tells you they didn't recruit this guy to win the Heisman. I mean, he was brought in to kind of run a system and do what they do.
And that's what they're doing.
And so that alone, he's not going to take a lot of chances.
No. And I kind of misspoke there. He was brought in to run their system. They're really not running their system, right? They're not running the ball. But as John Butler pointed out, they probably will try. So let's see what that looks
now
like.
on the other side of the ball. They have one defensive end that worries you.
Who's that?
Anthony Smith.
He
has 6 sacks and 14 hurries.
Ooh.
23 pressures on the year.
How many tackles does he have? Not many.
Anthony Smith has, tackle wise, Pro Football Focus has him at 6. He has 6 total tackles.
Right.
They're all sacks.
Yeah, he's not even on their the scouting thing that we get. They put the top 6 tacklers on there. He's not on. That's why I was surprised.
Yeah, but he's like one of their highest graded out guys.
Yeah, he affects the passer.
Now in Power 4 games, he has 3 sacks. So he has 6 sacks on the year and 3 quarterback hits, 14 hurries. So that,
you know what number he is?
He is 0.
0. Okay.
And 6'6", 285.
Yeah, that's a dude. So I'd watch 0. I watched 3. Number 3 is the safety who had the interception return in the win against Purdue. His name is, you maybe heard of him, maybe not. Coy Parrish.
Oh yeah, Coy Parrish.
Yeah.
Coy Parrish is another version of Travis Hunter. He plays 2 ways.
Yeah, highly recruited.
Highly. He was MVP of the All-American Bowl.
So I figured who
he's a big time player. I mean, he's an all Big Ten.
Yeah. Oh yeah, preseason All-American.
He's the kind of guy, you hate to say it like this, where Oregon will poach him or somebody.
Yeah. Like the kid at Purdue that Oregon.
Yeah, he kind of reminds you of that, like a player like that's first team All Big Ten, and there's going to be a lot of poachers that try to steal him.
Yep, just like that. I can't say the Purdue safety.
Dylan Tieneman.
Tieneman, good job, Sean. So yeah, and then I know we're doing kind of a breakdown here, but their leading tackler is Devon Williams.
We're kind of all over the map, but bear with us.
Well, not really. I mean, we're doing a little breakdown on Minnesota, which we should do. Devon Williams is their leading tackler. He's a linebacker. He's a dude. They just don't. I don't know. Their defense. I mean, I know what people are doing right now. They're saying simple. Purdue rushed for 253 yards on him. How good could they be? Well, they're 28th nationally in rushing defense, and they're 27th in total defense. They're top 30 defense statistically. So, I'm not thinking this is a horrible Minnesota team. They're 4-2 and 2-1.
No, they've had a great schedule.
Yeah, Buffalo, Northwestern State wins. They lost at Cal, which is sort of eyebrow raising because Cal then lost 34-0 to San Diego State. They didn't give Ohio State any kind of game, 42-3, and then they beat Purdue, but had to rally.
They could get to 6 or 7 wins on that schedule. Like, you look at their back six.
Oh,
look,
for sure. Yeah,
they have Oregon, but all their games on this back six, they could win any of them. I mean, they have a chance.
Oh, well, of course they do. They're not bad.
They have Wisconsin, who may not have a coach by that point. They have Northwestern.
Well, I'm not arguing with you.
Michigan State.
Oh yeah, they could win.
Hey, there's some
win all 3 of those games.
There's some heat on Jonathan Smith.
I hear that. Year 2 heat. Year 2. Heat.
Well, the AD there didn't hire him. So,
jeez.
All right. Well, should be some things to follow, no doubt, with Minnesota, Nebraska. Excited to get out there and see the Gophers. Let's take it before we go to headline number 3. Again, we're brought to you by our title sponsor of StayHome.Care. Call them, learn more about what they can do for you, your family, your loved ones at 402-205-2233. We're also brought to you by Harry's. Phenomenal company, Harry's. They make razors that are high level and affordable at the same time. And it's a first-class product. It's not just razors, though. In fact, when we travel to Minnesota, we'll all have our Harry's razors and shaving creams that they sent us, and the face balm after you shave. It's a lotion you put on. It's something I've used every day for years.
That's why you look so good.
It's a so if you've never tried Harry's, I urge you to learn more. Check it out. Sold in stores everywhere, but also online. We've got a HuskerOnline special for you for just $10. Go to harrys.com/Husker, and you'll get the Harry's trial set for only $10. Again, go to harrys.com/Husker, and you'll get that trial set, which comes with a razor, a balm, and they're basically giving it away at that price point. It's a heck of a price. Try it out at harrys.com/Husker for just $10. Thanks to Harry's for sponsoring us here on Husker Online Headlines. Okay, let's get into the discussion of Big Ten football here in headline 4. We have a full slate of 9 games this week. Obviously, Nebraska's the Friday night tilt. You'll get Washington at Michigan on big noon kickoff.
What a game. Sharon Moore at Michigan is 12-7. This is a test, and he wore this week to his press conference like a jacket you would see a guy at like Jiffy Lube wear. It was like a worker's jacket. I'm going to, like, just for lack of better description, a Carhartt jacket. And it said Sharon on it. And his thing was, we got to go back to work. It seemed really gimmicky to me. But anyway, keep going.
All right, moving down the line.
You were not interested in that conversation.
Washington is 5-1. And that they're kind of like Nebraska. Like, they're not getting a lot of respect either.
They should probably get more. They
If they win this game, they'll be ranked.
I mean, they got my respect because they played Ohio State and got kind of beat up, and then had to go to Maryland, and then made a big comeback to beat Maryland. They were down 20-3 going into the fourth quarter, and came back and won. So Washington has my respect. Okay.
Purdue at Northwestern.
Yeah.
And I'm interested in this game because if Northwestern, who's favored by 3 wins, they would be 5-2 coming into Lincoln, potentially against a 6-1 Nebraska team. Nobody could have predicted that. Nobody.
Nope. Northwestern was kind of regarded for a while as the worst team in the Big Ten, but you can't say that now.
David Braun has done a good job there.
Okay.
At least early on this year. Michigan State at Indiana. The Hoosiers are a 27.5-point favorite over the Spartans. And we talked about Jonathan Smith. Cignetti's not going to hold back on this one.
No, I mean, he's not. Michigan State's reeling. You wonder if Indiana will be hitting on all cylinders because they had such will they come back strong after an emotional win at Oregon? My guess is yes. They got so much. They're loaded up. So, yeah, Indiana should win that easily. The next game, Ohio State, Wisconsin, here's what you wonder. It's a legitimate wonder. Will Wisconsin score? Will Wisconsin be shut out 2 straight games? And when is the last time that happened?
Pre-Barry Alvarez, probably.
I wonder. But Wisconsin was beaten 37-0 by Iowa last week. And Ohio State, we talk about their defense all the time. I don't need to belabor the point. It's the best defense in America. I wonder if Wisconsin will score a point in this game.
Wisconsin has the 2021 Nebraska schedule. That was a schedule where Nebraska played 8 teams that won 9 or more games.
Jeez.
But the difference was Nebraska made every game at least respectable.
Mm-hmm.
That's not happening in Wisconsin right now.
I guess I'd be surprised if they make this game respectable.
No, and it's in Camp Randall. Like, what will the scene be? In fact, maybe on our drive up, I don't know why I've just taken pleasure in listening to the weekly Barry Alvarez radio show.
I'd like to listen to that.
We'll listen to that on the drive.
Well, I'd like to listen to sports talk radio this whole trip.
We will.
Okay.
Do you think they could fire Fickle mid-season?
Yes. Right.
But can McIntosh fire him, or does he have to go before they go?
Well, okay. Now, unless you know something I don't, are you sure that McIntosh doesn't have any leeway? Can't he make another hire? This is only one hire. ADs usually get more than one.
Yeah, but if he went all in on this hire and put his neck out for it,
mm-hmm.
kind of like Eichhorst did with Mike Riley,
mm-hmm.
Peterson did with Bill Callahan.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't know that answer. I wonder. It's a mess there.
Oregon at Rutgers.
Interesting.
And that's only a 17.5-point line. Oregon's a little hungover.
Yeah.
You go out to Piscataway.
Yeah.
It's a 5:30 Central Time game. Weird time.
Weird time. Weird trip. Hard trip. Those trips are hard.
And there's not a lot of juice. I mean, it's just kind of an ugly gray New Jersey.
It might be sunny.
I've never really been there where it's just been like beautiful.
Now hold on. Not really. No, you're right.
I mean, it's just blue collar, you know, and
Rutgers is, I don't know. No, you're right.
Those New Jersey guys on that Rutgers they could make it interesting.
Yeah, if they play any defense.
Because Schiano does a great job, like getting his team up for a game like that.
He does. They're not playing defense though right now. You know that, right?
They've been down.
Defense is bad. I don't know, Sean.
How about this game, Maryland UCLA? I'm so interested to see this game, mainly to see how good Maryland is, because UCLA is all of a sudden a story.
I know, it's really interesting. My guess is that UCLA will beat them handily.
It's in the Rose Bowl,
right? Handily. Maryland doesn't strike me as a particularly mentally tough outfit.
A lot of penalties.
Yeah, just kind of sloppy. I think Maryland's on the downturn.
Iowa hosts Penn State.
Jeez.
That's a big game for Iowa.
Oh, it is.
And then
what a mess at Penn State.
Well, what's their backup quarterback guy going to look like?
I don't know. I have no idea. Iowa's starting to look like kind of rebounding a little bit, right?
And you kind of knew they would.
Kind of.
I mean, they lost to Iowa State in a close game, and then their other loss was to now I'm trying to remember. It was somebody good.
Yeah. Anyway, USC Notre Dame is the big one. Big one.
I can't believe Notre Dame's 9.5-point favorite.
You know my opinion on that. I can believe it.
That's a lot of points.
I can believe it.
Yeah, you also said that Aiden Childs was better than Jaden Maeva.
I liked him better.
And you also said Jeff Sims was better than Lamar Jackson.
Do you want to bet this game straight up? I got Notre Dame. You got Maeva.
You've got a 9.5-point spread to help you.
You like Maeva.
I think USC will make this a close game.
Okay. So does Michael Severe. In fact, he thinks USC will win. I got Notre Dame straight up, and I feel very
And he's
confident.
giving you the 9.5.
Yeah. Oddly enough.
All right. Well, should be a great weekend of Big Ten
That's for a steak
football.
dinner, by the way.
Again, let's go to headline 5 odds and ends. We're brought to you by StayHome.Care, our title sponsor. Call them at 402-205-2233 to learn more. We're also brought to you by Gametime. I know a lot of folks are driving up to Minnesota right now.
Right now?
Or this weekend.
Oh, yeah, they might be
they're listening to us in the car, and you're trying to maybe get last-minute tickets at a better price than what you're finding. Urge you to download the Gametime app, and you'll find the best tickets, the best price selection on the Gametime app. And what I like about it is it will show you where your seats are in the stadium. And you can look online and find your seat in the stadium, and it will give you a good idea of where you're going to be sitting. Gives you the prices as well. The fees worked in there, so there's kind of no hidden checkout shock value. That's when you buy tickets, you sometimes want to know what the fees are. They give you all that with the price, but they're going to give you all the best options and selection at Gametime. And we've got a promo code. Use the promo code ON3 and you'll get $20 off your order at Gametime. Just download the app, use the promo code ON3 on the Gametime ticket app. Great place to look, not only for this Friday's game with Minnesota, but obviously they got the Northwestern game, the USC game. Thanks to Gametime for sponsoring us here on the Husker Online Headline Show.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's take it now to odds and ends. And a lot of things we can start with here. New details emerge on the transfer portal rules. Now when a coach leaves a school, they used to give you a 30-day window to go in the portal and essentially be poached. It's now 15 days.
Oh, why the adjustment?
Well, because the actual portal window is only open 15 days.
Okay.
So I think naturally they're just kind of putting a limit, but I'm okay. I think that rule makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Well, I was hoping you'd talk a little bit more so I could come up with our next topic, but you're a man of few words there.
There's not much to say about that one, right?
No.
Come on. That stuff is so it's not that appealing to talk about, quite honestly, but I guess it is what it is. 15 days.
Yeah. And this game itself, I'm interested how many Nebraska fans will see.
Sure.
I think this is one of the years where the schedule is so favorable for Nebraska fans to go on these road trips.
It's a pretty easy drive.
I mean, you've got Kansas City, was phenomenal showing. Maryland, phenomenal showing. You've got the Minnesota game, I think will be phenomenal showing.
Okay, the only thing that Friday, it's a Friday. Does that affect it?
No.
People got to take work off.
I think it helps it.
I
think there's people that will make a little weekend out of it. And then you've got UCLA. We know that's going to be a red invasion. And then we've got the Penn State game, which will be its own story in its own story.
Yeah. This game, we're heading up Thursday. I don't think we're going to see a lot of people Thursday going up.
No. And some people are going up in the media Friday, but we're going to be at the stadium till like 2 in the morning.
Yeah, that'd be a long day if we left.
And I explained that to my wife. I'm like, hey, yeah, we could leave Friday, but you understand, we get there, then we got to work from essentially, 5 p.m. or 4 p.m. until 2 a.m.
2 a.m. Yeah. 2 a.m. is probably,
generous.
That'd be great if we get done at 2 a.m. I don't think we're getting done at 2 a.m.
2:30.
Yeah.
And then drive back home. So we're going to go up Thursday just to make sure we're fully rested. But
we're going to Cove.
We're going to we're staying in the nice suburb of Edina. Which is by the Galleria Mall.
Okay. That sounds.
You probably won't be shopping there.
Maybe I might
check it out.
You know what? I might need to go get a shirt or two.
It's a good mall.
We'll have time, right?
Yeah. The team is staying out in the Mall of America.
Are they?
Yeah. Their normal downtown hotel was unavailable, is my understanding. Right? They've always stayed at the City Center Marriott, right in the heart of downtown. But because the game got moved, I don't think it was available for the day they needed it.
So what's the Mall of America hotel?
So there's a really nice Marriott property
connected
to the mall.
Is that right? That'd be kind of nice.
I've stayed there once.
How was it?
It's nice. I'd rather stay where we're staying though.
Yeah. Sounds great.
You know,
So I'm looking forward to this. I always like going to Huntington Bank Stadium, and a Friday night game is super cool. And I think Nebraska could pound them. Really hammer them, like a 42-13.
The thing I told the crowd that worries me about Nebraska is they don't know how to finish off somebody. Like at Maryland,
right?
They're up 10-0,
right?
And then they get down 14, then they went back up. Was it 24-14?
Went back up 10, yeah.
And they just lack, like Dylan's pick. It was 24-14, the throwaway pick out of bounds.
Uh-huh.
Like if that doesn't happen, maybe Nebraska scores before half. Like the Michigan State game, they're up 14-0,
Mm-hmm.
and then they got down 21-14.
You know what you're talking about here? Steps of development. The development we're seeing is now they're winning close games. So one of the next steps, if not the next step, is what? Hammer people and end them early, so you don't have to have a close game, right?
Yeah, just kind of learning how to finish somebody off.
Right.
And that's if Nebraska can get in that situation, like can they do it this time?
Yep.
The other thing, Nebraska's 0 for 6 on coin tosses this year.
Odd. 0 for 6 again coin tosses, and 0 of their last 5 against Minnesota, which I don't think we mentioned, right? 0 of their last 5 against Minnesota. Hello.
Well, and they haven't won in Minneapolis since Mike Riley's first season.
Refresh me.
2015, Joshua Kalu had a big game out there. I remember that.
Quarterback was
Tommy
Armstrong. I kind of remember that game. I don't think I was there.
It was a day game.
Yeah.
We've been out there a lot lately. 2019 was a night game. And then I'm trying to think, 2020 was in Lincoln. 2021 was out there. That was, God,
that's the game I wasn't at. That's the only game I've missed in 30 years.
Why'd you miss it?
It was a
personal thing.
Funeral, yeah. That's the only game, home or away, I've missed in 30 years. I missed that game in Minnesota.
So I haven't missed a game, home or road. Okay, I missed one in 2003. I missed Southern Miss. And that's the only game I've missed, home or road, since 2000 because of my job interview. So I've been to every game since 2003.
So, yeah, Nebraska needs to end this streak against Minnesota. What other odds and ends are there? Robin's going back for BYU.
Basketball, yeah, BYU. It's a big exhibition game.
Top 10 team. People are asking me about basketball now at these luncheons.
Do you think Fred will play this game like straight up, or will they try to play a lot of guys?
I don't know. I don't know how you do that. I would play him straight up. I would want to get my team some confidence. So don't jack around with it.
BYU is, the fact that they're coming here is pretty significant.
They're a legit bona fide top 10 team. They have adopted this pro model that they're using. And BYU, I think you would agree, has a ton of money, a lot of money.
Mormon church money.
Yeah, they're paying their roster. Hello.
Well,
Robin's coming back for that game before us.
You look at the framework of the Big 12. You have BYU's in the Big 12.
Okay.
But Texas Tech and BYU have kind of like taken over that league with their money.
Yeah.
Arizona State is trying.
Yep.
Utah is trying. But you've even seen kind of Oklahoma State, Kansas, and Kansas State fall back a little bit.
Yeah, Kansas basketball has fallen back. They're
ranked like 19th.
Yeah, they are not loaded with money. You'd think they are. They're not. It's odd. But anyway, so Robin's flying back for that.
Yeah, we're all driving up, and then he's going to take the early flight out on Saturday. He'll land in Lincoln at 11.
And then the game's at noon.
And part of it was, I think BYU had to get back on Saturday because of like their Sunday commitment. Like,
sure.
They don't do anything on Sunday, and traveling on Sunday would be kind of against what they do.
Yep. So there you go, Sean.
Should be a big weekend. We'll have the Husker-Online post-game live show. That will take place. The game will end around 10:30. We're hoping to be on, I would say, between 12 and 12:30.
Yep.
A lot of it just depends on how quickly we can get done with our things that need to get done. But in that window, we should be on. So it will be a late night.
Mm-hmm.
And I know a lot of people will probably catch us on the re-air in the morning, but we had huge numbers last week when they win. We had about 37,000 views and downloads on the post-game show.
Ooh, good.
Last week. So people like to listen to a winning show.
Yeah. And I expect that's what we'll be dealing with.
We had a lot of super chats last week.
Yeah.
Wow.
Be on your top of your
Yeah,
game,
my
Sean.
toes. All right. Well, for Steve Sipple, I'm Sean Callahan. Hope everyone has a safe trip out to Minneapolis, and we'll see you after the game on Husker Online Post Game Live. Thanks for joining us here on Husker Online Headlines.